Yep, that's right, guys. We're live Saturday night, and we're here. And guess what? Do you guys realize we might had a terrorist attack, and it's just now being publicized? We'll see you when we get back. I guess the opening is not going to air.
I know. I was like, okay.
I guess it's not going to air. So we're back. Let me try it one more time to see what happens. Oh, so we go straight into the show.
Straight in. Let's do the
Yep,
sponsor.
it's
See if
hung
the
up.
sponsor wants to work.
Isn't that something, man? It's hung up. The only way you can rectify it is reset the thing, and when you do that, it blows everybody out. So we're not doing all that.
We'll get that next time.
Yeah, next time. Just won't see the opening. Yeah. First thing we need to do is thank the sponsors of this show, and that's Saber Team Tactical. And go to saberteamtactical.com, then go to classes. And we just had a class today, rifle and PCC class. It was an excellent class. You guys missed out. And the weather was great for the class too. So it wasn't too hot. And it was just perfect, nice and wet, raining.
Nobody else was complaining about the heat.
Yeah, because I would have been passed out. But I done gotten more in shape now, so I can endure a lot more of this heat. You know what I'm saying? So,
man, he had one job.
What's that?
Make it 98 degrees today.
Yeah, and it worked, man. It worked.
It worked for you.
Yeah, it worked for me. Yeah, because he was asleep.
Yeah, he was.
So I'm hoping all the classes be like that, man, because I'm not dealing with that heat. All right, Al, go ahead.
Yep. So our one-on-one training is our bailiwick. Is what we rest our hat on. It is a really good training, and the reason why is because we devote our entire attention to you or your small group. And any of these titles that you see, we can bring it out there to you. Omar has been doing some one-on-ones recently, and he's been seeing some same results from dealing just one-on-one instead of having a group of 10 people who are still new to firearms and trying to get through. That's where we specialize in making new shooters competent.
Mm-hmm.
When's your next class coming up? We roll it down.
Not even on that page. All right. Next class coming up August 12th.
Mm-hmm. That conceal, carry, and stop the bleed class is a definitive and necessary because you need to learn how to stop the bleed no matter what the situation.
Next class coming
up August 12th. Talked about gun wounds, but you can also get hurt. Car accident happens a lot to a lot of people. Being in the forest, if you're out in the woods, something should happen. You have to be able to triage injuries so that you can either stop the bleed, stabilize the person, and get that person to a higher authority of medical attention. And those are the three things that I took from that class, as well as in my experience in the past. And it's good even if you've already have some type of certification, CPR. If you're taking another stop the bleed, it's always good to hear somebody else say it, and Al does a great job at that.
Yeah, because I just focus on just stopping the bleed. I don't focus on and triaging the person too, and keep them going into shock and all this other good stuff. Yeah. Let me scroll down again, right? And and we got another one's coming up. If you want to miss that one, and if you want to go to the battle class, we got one October 28th. Yep. It's the same thing. It's just you got heavy gear. You guys want to fight in all this urban warfare stuff. This would be ideal for you guys. And November, when it's nice and cool.
You hope. I'll be Indian summer.
Yeah, it'd be wet. This is a wet summer. And rifle tactical gear class. That class is a high speed, low drag class. And if you got some Whoosh gear or Amazon gear, bring it on out, and we'll see. We'll see if it works. You know what I'm saying?
Push it.
Yeah, we'll push it through the failure rate. It's an 8-hour course. It's a lot of work. We'd only allow intermediate to advanced students. So in order for you, if you just bought a rifle You need to take a private one-on-one class with Al so he can do an assessment on you and see if you're ready for that class.
Mm-hmm.
And we only take 6 people and no more than that. And it's a very intense class. You're going to learn a lot. The class was taught on active duty. Um, and a lot of the techniques and stuff was used in real world, real life stuff. So I teach it to you, to the civilian market without the explosives. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Yep.
And and I think that's it. Laser engraving. If you guys are into laser engraving, that's the other side of the company, and we do magazines, plaques, dog tags, novelty items. Um, we can engrave on glass, etch, or coasters, or leather patches and coasters, whatever. Pretty much do a lot of stuff with this laser engraving. So if you guys are looking for something like that for a anniversary or graduation, or you're looking for a trophy for something, hit me up and give me your name, email, subject, and hit I'm not a robot. I'm about to say I'm not an Omar.
I'm not
I'm not a
Omar.
robot, and submit. That's what I was about to say. I'm not an Omar.
I'm not Omar.
That's been funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, where am I at? Oh, also too, I forgot to mention this last time. We are on. Let's see. Um, we're on Quality Work. Who is that?
I can't see who
Oh,
it is.
David. Oh my God, David Sargent. What's up, my man? How you doing? I served with him in Fort Benning.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Cheers.
yeah, he was the first one to see the class when it first happened at Benning. And thanks for supporting the show, man. And oh, so we're on Rumble, we're on YouTube, we're on D Live, and we're on Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah, that's right. I want to thank you guys for supporting us on Rumble and um, uh, YouTube. Please like the show so we can get the numbers up, and like and share. We need to get this thing booming. We got a lot of surprises coming for you guys in the near future, and we want you guys to really enjoy the stuff that we got in the works. We got heavy duty projects coming, and stay tuned. And YouTube, please hit the bell and hit all, and so you guys can see when these shows come up, and also when we do premieres, because a lot of the shows we're gonna some of the exciting stuff we're doing is going to be pre-recorded, so we're going to be doing it as premiere shows, and so you guys can watch it there, because some of those offset things we're going to be doing, we can't be actually doing live. So, but we got several events that's coming up. We're not going to announce the newest event yet until we actually do it, because I don't trust the guys. They might end up backing out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So, but we the closer to the dates, we'll let you guys know. And what is locked in, we have the we're doing a feature show on, what is that name of that range?
Which one? The first one is like
Not the vault, but the other one.
safe.
Oh,
Range
gun
safe.
ranges and safe
Yep.
off of Pleasantdale Road.
Yep. There you go.
On Pleasantdale Road. So that we're doing a feature on that, and next month on the 19th, we're also doing the Vault is having their 1 year anniversary, and they're gonna have a whole big their parking lot is gonna be filled with vendors and other gun people there. It's probably gonna be some free guns that you guys can go out there and shoot. It's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna go over there maybe next week, couple weeks, and get all the details and bring it back. And we're gonna be out there interviewing people and doing a short little video and stuff on what they're doing, and be broadcasting it next couple of weeks, and we might end up going live out there too, so we don't know. And next Saturday we're going up to Edgar Mills' spot to do his libertarian shoot, And I think that's still going on. He's still advertising it, so he's still accepting people to come up. Go to what is it, OSS,
Yep.
um,
Osprey
Osprey
Shooting
uh,
Solutions.
Shooting Solutions on Instagram, or or I guess he got his website.
You got a website too. I'm
Oh, you got a
looking at it.
website, and
Osprey
pull
Shooting
it up.
Solution. Yep. Calendar.
Right, and pull it up and look for that date. Sign up because you can't do a walk on. You got to sign up so he knows who's coming.
Right.
And he's doing a it's just an open shoot with rifles. You can shoot ARs and AKs from 11 to 6 p.m. and just go out there and have a good time. And we're going to be shooting some footage out there too. So, and hopefully it's not too hot. You know,
I hope it's hot. I hope it's really hot.
if it's hot, I'll be out there like
Embrace the
five.
heat.
I'm gonna be out there like 5 minutes. Welcome to 2 Alphas Talk. And the rest of the interview is gonna be for me from the driver's seat with the window rolled down. Like, hey man. But you guys see the title. Did we have a terrorist attack? We came across something. Well, I came across something through somebody else.
It, and I came
Yeah,
across the
it
rest
posted something to me from not the B. And let me post this real quick. This is, and then Al got to doing some research, and he found interesting stuff. Look at this, guys. On Friday, July 14th, 4 officers were responding to a car crash on the business street, and when Mohammed, whatever his last name is, yeah,
Barakat.
yeah, 37 opened fire on them from his car in a nearby parking lot. And Barkar, whatever, initial attack, he killed the first officer right here, Blake, and he wounded these other 2 that came up on the scene, and they were down out of the fight. And as you read along, this guy right here, alone, he was all by himself. He fought, and he ended up taking the guy out and shooting him.
2-minute gunfight.
Yeah,
Can't dispute that part.
right.
That's a long time in gunfighting.
They were fighting for a minute before backup got there, and you see the dude, he unleashed. He had a 60-round mag drum. He unleashed 40 rounds of it, and the police was going back and forth with him. I think the police officer unleashed, I think it was 31 shots. So here it is right here. Zach Robinson, he returned fire for over 2 minutes, firing 31 rounds. And he finally hit the guy and disabled him when he fell to the ground. Then when he approached him, the guy was still waving a 9mm in the air. Then he put him out of his misery.
Delete.
Yeah. Did it say delete?
No, I say delete.
Yeah. Oh, it says neutralize. Yeah. But he was this was clearly a terrorist attack. Now check this out. Look. This is what this dude had in his car. He
look what this article.
I can blow this up. There it is.
Print and squeeze. There you
go. Yeah. This is what he had. So I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 pistols. He had,
I think it said 57 magazines.
Is it 57?
It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That's different.
That's
look different. Look at the rifle.
Yeah.
It looks like there's ones in the middle look AK-ish. Maybe not 74, but
is that an AK 74. Right there?
I can't tell. You know,
anything. Look like the.
You listen to the news.
Yeah. Well, we know this is a 308.
You can see,
and this here is that's 5.56.
Right. The one at the top could be a shoot 7.62. That's what those bent.
No, look at the magazine well.
It could be a 308.
Yeah.
Right.
So this guy had these Amazon tactical vests, and he had the Amazon battle vest. That's the one that goes around your legs and stuff. You've seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the one.
Like a harness.
Yeah, the harness. And so that's a lot of magazine. This dude was loaded for bear,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And the funny part about it, look, he had these American
Yep. You probably
stamp.
bought it from someone else.
Mm-hmm. But he had 4 pistols, 4 rifles, and a hell of a collection of ammunition. He was
Right.
ready. He was
Mm-hmm.
ready for a fight.
In his mind, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that
Until they
matters.
took
That's
him
the
out.
scary part.
Right. So was not actually on the news. Now let's go to Al's research.
Yeah, because actually it was slow to come out, but the locals handled it as well as CNN and what was the other one? MSNBC? No, not them. Some other one I sent to you. Those
Mm-hmm.
people came out 2 days later and 1 day later, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that we're more concerned with is, and you got regional news and then you got national news. Why didn't this make national? And
Yeah.
you have a theory for that.
No, you came up with that theory.
Oh, you came up with that theory.
I came
I
up with
said
that
that
theory.
I said it was there. You said the reason why they didn't do it, and it's written in that B article, is because
Okay.
the officer. And then I showed you
Oh
across
yeah,
the
yeah,
nation, 60
yeah,
60%
yeah,
on average.
yeah. The officer was the wrong color.
Right,
Yeah, he was white,
right.
and nobody cares about the white man getting killed. This
Well,
is from
that's the what I came back to you with is that 60% of police officers in America are
all
white.
white, right?
So then they should never post anything about an officer doing his job.
Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't. So Al researched and found from Inform Fargo, the woman. Now you saw this was from the Not to Be. She was on there too,
Right.
and they talked about it and they break down and they talked about the
She
shooting.
was involved in an accident, and I don't know if
She
the
was
accident
involved.
was caused by the shooting, but she was an offender bender and just got out her car to wait, or I guess for police response or whatever they were gonna do, and she got hit just standing out there on the corner.
So he was
Yep.
just shooting wildly,
Oh,
randomly.
very indiscriminate. And
Yeah.
they said he was. If you look at some of the other stuff, he was. There was a festival, like 2 or 3 fairs and festivals in that area, and
Mm-hmm.
they thought maybe his intention was to get to one of those because he had looked up some of those things on his search engine, and that's something that I've been seeing a lot of with law enforcement, are going back to your browser and looking at your history. And this dude,
Mm-hmm.
he looked up things like how to kill fast, police response, things like that. And, he was looking for it to kind of get himself educated on this stuff,
So
and that's crazy.
he was clearly a terrorist. Clearly a terrorist.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the problem is that we always look at the religion and all that, but if you look
Mm-hmm.
across the nation and look at history, majority of nut jobs have always had religion in their back pocket.
Right. Or
And
non-religion.
indoctrination is
Yeah.
based upon the reason why they did whatever they did. But it's
Right.
the individual. We can go around and be terrified and scared of every time we see somebody that says Allah Akbar, but at the same time, there's other people that look just like me and you that are terrorists, and that's
Right.
the second
And
thing you were talking about.
we've had those people
Right.
do terrorist attacks.
And look at your boy, the runner up in Korea.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're gonna get into that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
So,
we're gonna get into that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mr. Private King,
right.
traitor, And here's
Basically.
from Inform too. And this is where they did another piece on the officer dies and two others in critical condition.
And my concern that I was saying to you is
Mhm.
look at the date line. The incident actually happened on July 14th.
Right.
If you look at some of these articles that came out 5 days later, and we just mentioned this before we went on air, was it one of the big ones? New York Times came out with an article just 22 hours ago, way behind.
Right.
But they know that this is news that the people is starting to spread across the nation, so they're going to get in front of it.
They're trying
Or
to
at
get in
least
front
tag
of it.
along, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
the local news reported it the same day. I think it was what's that one? U.S. News reported it the day after.
Yeah, the 17th.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was 3
And
days later.
that was 3 days later. And today is the 22nd. And we just now hearing about this.
Mm-hmm.
And ABC this is dated on This is delayed, dated on the July 15th. This is the day after. I don't remember hearing anything about this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't on headline news, nothing.
And I mean, for Fargo to have a police officer killed,
Right. It's rare. Very, very rare. Because they don't get a lot of crime,
no.
you know? But they
Oh
have
my
been.
goodness! Now you're gonna see. This is what sometimes we don't want to know, because once they get on it, they'll drag everything in their agenda with it as well. According to CNN, Fargo shooter who killed police officer used a binary trigger, and that was 1 day ago.
Oh, let's go back to that
Mm-hmm.
picture. I want to see if we can see a binary trigger on there. I wonder, can we? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know.
That's because they could be lying. They literally could be lying. You know.
I'm gonna do
Let's
it real
see.
quick because I mean we didn't see this one earlier.
Okay, here it is right here. So here it is, the breakdown. He had over 1,800 rounds of ammunition. That's enough for 6 people.
Wow.
That's how much ammunition he
You
had.
know
in
what's
that
gonna
vehicle.
happen off this springboard?
What's that?
They're gonna go for that. They went after the brace. The brace doesn't do anything to multiply a firearm. Brace just a stabilizer. They
Right.
went after that and they took it. And next thing you
Okay.
see, binary triggers gone.
I can't tell from here. I can't tell from here if it's binary trigger or not because you're looking for that switch.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting. Now I didn't understand what this was. This is what they trying to say? He had hand grenades.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
look
said
what he did.
one said he had a grenade. Had that, yeah.
So he took the grenade and he drilled the top of it out and put a cannon fuse on it. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he packed it, and so I guess he was gonna light it and chuck it. Man, that thing would have blew up before he threw it.
Man, most people don't know.
Jesus Christ,
You see PJ?
PJ. Now let me
got you.
go back to that page. Go
Right
ahead.
here. Appreciate
Okay.
the information. Thanks to Alphas. You're welcome, PJ Mac. P.
Yeah.
Jones
Yeah.
Mac.
Man, this is
Yeah.
wild.
Well, here, I'm going to send this one to you. Here we go. Do. This is crazy because it's happening, and we got to pay attention, and you got to not only for your local surroundings, but nationally, because whatever happens in Fargo can easily happen where you live.
Even if he didn't have a binary trigger, they're gonna say he did have one, and who's
It's
gonna
right
prove
there.
him wrong? Because you're not gonna have access to that information. You can't see because it's an ongoing investigation.
Right, and they're very tight-lipped. So another who got article where a journalist was trying to get information, and they pretty much stonewalled them. They're like, "Yeah, we haven't gotten to that part yet."
Mm-hmm.
This is now 7 days. What's this? The 22nd. So that's 8
Yeah.
days ago.
This is CNN.
This is CNN.
Right.
Look, here we go. Back it up.
Mm-hmm.
Fargo shooter who killed police who used a binary trigger device had stockpile of weapons at home.
So they already started. And
I think he
there's
had the 60-round drum, but he didn't have all of that you saw there because I'm getting the last one said the same thing.
Hold on. Go back to that title because there's 2 key words they use: binary trigger and stockpile.
Yep.
Remember, the UN just came out on saying they just passed a new law for the UN that people cannot stockpile ammunition no more than 25 rounds.
Dude.
That's considered stockpiling and it should be confiscated. They're doing the exact same thing. Binary triggers, ATF is already going after binary triggers and trying to get people to turn them in.
Dang.
It's no law against binary triggers. Now they're using the word stockpile. Right. So this is the binary triggers and the stockpile. Stockpile means ammunition.
Yeah. Stockpile means
That's
multiple.
what it means. Yeah. Multiple rounds. You are a threat if you have multiple rounds.
Yep.
And clearly this guy did. Now, if you go back to the picture
Here it
I
is
had.
right here. Look at this one. Right before you go to that. This is the end of what you were saying. It says right here. that Wrigley said that the investigators found a stockpile of weapons, ammunition, and parts to make explosives at Barakat's home.
Home.
They also found he had searched on the internet, searched explosive ammo, kill fast, and mass shooting events, in addition to information about downtown Fargo street fair. That's what I was telling you about. That's crazy. You see,
Right.
think about it. I don't know all the demographics of Fargo, but we talked about it being in more
Fargo
conservative.
just got an influx of Muslim
Oh
citizens.
man, that
Yeah.
whole region over there, from between
Yeah.
North Dakota and Minnesota,
Yeah.
it's like a magnet for them,
Right.
right? So, but at the same time, where's what
How,
we always say, where's the good guy with a gun?
but check this out. Yeah, nobody helped the officers. They were on their own.
Right.
If he had killed this last officer, this dude would have did a lot
He
more
would have
damage than what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Check
not
this
even
out.
not even kill. If he'd hurt him, because these other guys are critical and they're still alive.
Yeah.
But
They
had
wasn't
he
even
got,
able to fight anymore. He had
them-
hurt them so bad.
bro, we see these movies where these guys take
Right.
4 and 5 rounds. And you take one round and you out the
And
game.
they were out of the fight.
Yeah. And
That's that
rightfully
quick.
so, they're human.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, you notice they had all that, but they did not have a motive.
Not yet.
They know why he did this,
Of
but they
course they
didn't put that motive out. And you know what else they put out? You saw those 8 magazines with those American flags on there. So they're trying to say he was a patriot.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
That would be a nice twist.
Yeah, that was an indicator. All right, Sergeant. Controlling the ammo is their workaround of the
To control the Second Amendment. Yeah, I agree.
control second.
Just
Prime
think about this.
example of that.
A few years ago, we had a certain particular president who said, "Forget the guns, let's take the ammo." And he's a cool guy. People don't like him,
Right.
but that's cool. I don't.
And
care
they
for him.
actually
He's still
did
smart.
this in the state of California.
Yep.
California
And-
was a test bed for the rest of the nation.
And
kept
Chicago,
telling
and that was that FOID card. You have to have a FOID card, FOID, in order to buy ammunition.
Yes. And then you can only buy 1 box a month.
That's crazy.
You can't even transport ammunition across the state lines. You do that is a felony in their state. And you'll be charged with a felony for trafficking and whatever else charge they got. Come e-commerce and all types of other stuff. So you're done. And now once they hit you with that felony, well, they're coming to get those guns. You know?
So my man, according to this is AP, which is a little bit more credible, I guess you want to say. But they said that Zach Robinson had just happened to be nearby. He wasn't with the other 3 officers. That's why I guess he was. He was able to disable the dude, and he took a 75-foot shot. He was 75 feet away with a 9mm handgun when he.
Yeah, he only had they didn't have any. They don't have patrol rifles. Yeah,
Yep.
they only had pistols.
Then
all of them.
Barack, who was on the ground, picked up a handgun and waved it around. As Robinson moved closer, he ordered Barack to drop the Barack.
Yeah,
He ordered
yeah.
Barack
His name
to
changed.
drop the gun 16 times, then killed him in a confrontation that lasted about 2 minutes.
Right.
You only get one chance, buddy. He said they said several times. Okay.
Yeah. So this guy had 3 semi-automatic rifles, a hand grenade, 53 magazines, 4 handguns, and at least 10 magazines. I guess that's heavy magazines, and nearly 1,800 rounds. Yeah.
Yeah. Canisters with gasoline and a homemade hand grenade in his car. So they investigate. Now listen, this is where it goes back, because the other one said it was the home. I'm reading AP now. AP says investigators found 1,800 rounds of ammunition, 3 long guns, 4 handguns, and numerous ammo magazines, explosive canisters with gasoline, and a homemade hand grenade in Barakat's car. He said officials released a photograph showing that 8 of the magazines bore American flag stickers on it, which you just mentioned.
Yes.
And he had a shooting vest. It wasn't bulletproof vest.
No, it was not. It was
He had
not.
magazines in every pocket, and he had a suitcase of weapons, which he had rolled out of his apartment right before getting into his car. Damn.
And the car accident is what stopped him from getting to where he was going.
Yep. He
Yeah.
may have been impatient and nervous, and he just went for it.
Yeah.
Because
He
had he
just
made
got
it to
out.
that fair, it would have been ugly.
Yeah.
Again, they still have no motive.
Right. Now, the funny thing about this incident just hit Twitter on yesterday, July 21st.
Wow.
It's exploding all over Twitter. So even Twitter was slow to get this message out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So the radio call went out. We have 3 officers down. Send everybody. And
Mm-hmm.
send everybody they did.
Right. Wow. But by the time they got there, the incident was already over.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
put it
It's going
down.
to take them, even if
It's-
they got there 3 minutes, they're still too late.
Right.
The
Right.
incident took 2 minutes to unfold and
Mm-hmm.
out all the way and then close all the way. Exceptional. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about the funeral service for these guys. But the thing is, let's find out what the citizenship of this guy was.
Yeah.
Was he even legally should have had a firearm? And the reason why I bring that up is because when we start talking about who should have firearms and who shouldn't have firearms, again, as I say often, we have to separate ourselves as law-abiding citizens and those that do devious, criminal, heinous acts with guns. We're not those people. But yet,
Yeah.
if this infraction, if something like this does take place when binary triggers are just put on some list to be removed from everyday citizens' ownership, it's based upon this guy who's not a citizen of the goddamn United States.
Mm-hmm. And that's the way looking like that's what they're trying to push.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
everything has a reason, and not only that, but if you also add in the fact that they bring it up now, right in the early inception of this investigation, and then later on, we're going to continue with that because now he's got both. He has pistols and rifles involved in this situation.
And so-called supposed to be a binary trigger too.
Right. So, like you
And
said, so-called.
Yeah. So-called. Yeah. We can't
haven't seen it.
We
You know
can't
that
verify it.
You know that one that had for the 22s where you crank it?
Mm-hmm. I remember
been
that. I remember they
gonna
tried
call
to
that
ban that too.
They're going to call that a binary trigger?
Yeah. They were really trying to get rid of those triggers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gimmick, but at the same time, in the wrong hands, it could be, deadly.
Yeah.
Hell, a water hose, a pressurized water hose from the fire department in the wrong hands could be deadly.
Yeah. What a mess.
Yeah. But the thing is, as you mentioned, this is something that wasn't widely broadcast, and it was almost as though they were attempted to let it just go under the bridge and move on, and nobody know about it. Keep it. Only
Right.
people in that region would know.
Because they don't want the America to know that we got a terrorist attack. We got a borders being flooded with people, and
Hey,
they don't
no,
want.
you missed the one point you should have said. Military age people.
Yeah, we got military age men coming from everywhere. China, every terrorist country. They have caught terrorists
place that
at the
hates
border.
the red, white,
They
and
have-
blue.
Yeah, they have caught terrorists at the border. They have caught them.
I think we reported this a few weeks ago about the I think they were Chinese that came through.
Yeah, Chinese nationals.
the Mexican border.
Yeah, they're coming through in droves.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're all military age. They tried to keep this in hush hush. It leaked out, but be prepared for us to have another terrorist attack, and it's going to be something, an event or something around. Because, like I said, they know this guy's motive, and they're not actually stating what it is because they know it's going to make people mad.
Yep.
You know?
And then, you know what? The same thing that's happening with your really good friends, the Transformers or the HDIs.
There's another
they're
terrorist
angry,
group.
right? They're angry with them, and then they say, "Well, anytime you mention us, then that's the threat on one of our lives." Next thing you're going to hear the terrorists say the same thing. Anytime you speak of terrorism, it's a threat on anyone who's not Christian.
Right.
Watch.
We have rights.
Yep.
But we want to destroy yours. Yeah, but we have
And
rights.
the thing about it is our political machine, or the bird that flies with the red and blue wings, they'll use anything to restrict our freedoms, so to
Yeah.
quote unquote. I'll put that there. Our privileges.
Yeah.
Go ahead, talk about
Yes.
your boy, man, Private King.
Yeah. There's you guys are aware that we had a clown who defected to the North Korea, and he did this a couple days ago. Now, I'm gonna share what it looks like. this this is so funny. This guy is a complete clown. There's King Travis Private King. He was a P2. There's a whole bunch of questions about this.
Yeah.
One, he was reconnaissance. He was a 19 Delta. He was a scout. You know what I'm saying? Two, he was stationed in Korea. Take his picture down. He was stationed in Korea. It was a rotation. He was from Fort Bliss. He was stationed with the first, I think, first armor or something like that at Fort Bliss. I can't remember. And old Ironside, old Patton's old unit. And so they was over there for a rotation. He was stationed at a base that's supposed to have been close to the DMZ. Very close to the DMZ. They changed all the names to the bases now, so I can't remember. And but he was a P2. He's been in the Army almost roughly close, going on 2 years, and he was still a P2. He should have been a P3. So that automatically gives you a red flag that he was a problem soldier. Okay. Two, he had attitude problems because he was arrested for assault in the South Korean civilization for all right, true. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for this. We're trying to get some good stuff here. And
Tell your husband to come on.
Huh?
I got words for that guy.
Oh yeah, tell Rick to come on. He's probably working out. And so he get into an altercation downrange on posts, off posts, with they won't say, but I have a funny feeling it was a Korean civilian, and it gets in a fight. Well, the police get involved. The South Korean police. He gets arrested. He tears up the police car by kicking it when he's handcuffed in the back, and does $500 worth of damage. Now, when you're in Korea, and they always tell you, if you do anything in Korea, do not let the Korean police arrest you first. And they always said all the soldiers block the Korean police from doing it until the MPs can get there, and they will detain you because you do not want to be put in the Korean jail because you may not be able to survive it when you get there. And so he gets charged. He spends 2 months in South Korean jail.
Oh yeah, they turned him, bro. This was set up. Keep going.
And he comes out looking healthy as what? Like nothing happened.
Right, yeah.
He gets back to his unit. They out process him. They didn't even charge him. His unit didn't even charge him with anything. They give him a plane ticket to come back to Fort Bliss. Now, Fort Bliss was going to probably give him a dishonorable discharge and throw him out, right? Well, the MPs escort him to the airport. He goes to the airport, about to board the plane, apparently, tells them he lost his passport. Being an American soldier, you don't need a passport to fly overseas, especially under orders.
Right.
Okay? You just use a military ID. So he leaves the airport, the South Korean airport, and goes to Yongsan base, which is about, you need to take a cab to get to it.
Right.
He took a cab to get to it, and somehow or another, there was a Korean tour bus going up to the DMZ that same exact time.
Coincidentally.
Coincidentally,
Hmm.
he gets on this bus. Now, the only way you can get on this bus, you got to have a clearance. It takes 72 hours. It used to take 24, but now it takes 72 hours for you to get a clearance. And when you get this clearance, when you get on the bus, they're checking IDs. So he's supposed to have got on the bus at Youngsong, a 2-hour drive from Highway 3 going straight up to the DMZ. Believe me, I know this place. And he goes to JSA base. That's the base in the middle of the DMZ.
Right.
When you get there, you got to get off the bus and go inside for another briefing, a safety briefing, and a historical briefing. Then you get back on the bus. At this point, there's an armed MP on the bus, and he's checking IDs again and with the roster. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But this cat gets back on the bus again, end up in the same place where they have the peace talks.
Mm.
You know, everybody remember where Trump went across and talked to the South Korean leader. I think I got a picture of it.
Yeah, we remember. We all got that.
Yeah.
Because at one point that with this after investigation part. So go ahead. When did he take his sprint?
Okay. So he gets off the bus. The tour is standing there, and they tell you in this briefing, don't do anything stupid because it's the South Koreans are edgy. And I mean the North Koreans are edgy.
I know. What you mean,
And yeah. And so apparently he takes off and sprints across the DMZ. The North Koreans
Don't shoot
do
him.
not even shoot this
Right.
dude.
Don't shoot him.
They
That's
don't
a sign.
shoot him. He's in civilian clothes running across the DMZ, and they don't shoot him. And they just immediately grab him and detain him and take him into the building.
Yep. Now, mind you, in my experience, I've done like buy bus type deals, and everybody gets locked up, right? Including me. I'm the good guy, but I set everything up. You get locked up, then later on you get separated before you can actually get to the prison. This is what it sounds like. We make it look good for the cameras and anybody else that's watching. So basically, somebody from our government said American officials, they are stunned by what happened and that he ran across the, but they acknowledge he was likely worried about facing further disciplinary action from the Army upon his return to the United States. They also go on to say they're not aware of any information demonstrating the 23-year-old was a North Korean sympathizer, and the Pentagon played down suggestions he might present an intelligence liability. Now, you said earlier, we read somewhere that didn't he have a top secret clearance?
No. The highest you can get is secrets.
No, but I'm saying as some type of background. He had some clearance to something.
Being a scout, he had privy information to secret information.
That's
because
what I'm talking about right there.
scouts know the whole battle, and you have to know the whole division battle in order to. That's how you work. And everybody in the platoon would know this information because they want every man up to the last man to know the mission.
Gotcha.
So if he was close to the DMZ, that means he probably was privy to minefields. He was probably privy to fighting points, choke points, battle positions. He knew how, what type of units were there,
Right.
what the disposition, what type of equipment we had, all this other stuff. He would have known all this stuff.
Okay.
Even being a private E2. Apparently, he was smart enough to figure out how to do all this stuff. So just because of his rank doesn't mean he was a dumbass.
Never disrespect somebody or overlook somebody based upon their rank.
Right. So this is where he actually crossed. Okay. This is North Korea right here in the back. This is the DMZ. The 38th parallel line goes right here. And so these are all South Korean soldiers. So he got off the bus and completely ran across here. And when you run across here, these guys will gun you down.
Not this time.
Not this time.
And did you see what P3 has to say?
No, I'm going back.
It's a good time for his comment right now.
Okay, let me go back. Okay. Oh, oh, I took it off.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was just going to see Mama San. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. He saw Mama San.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
So,
Well, we should send Dennis Rodman over to get him.
yeah.
He's good
What's up,
friends with him.
WK? So there's something whole. There's now. Check this out. That area, they have so many cameras in that area, and they're not releasing the footage that he went across.
Right.
There's tons of cameras in that area because that building we have a building that's on the opposite side looking at them with cameras and stuff. So everything is video court. When you go out there, you're under video surveillance immediately. You know what I'm saying? So that was what he did was an international incident, and it's a lot. Things happen worse on that more simpler on that DMZ, and where shootings take place, but this one did not.
Right.
Even the South Korean soldiers didn't shoot at it.
Tensions are heightened on the Korean Peninsula more so than ever before. And last week, North Korea launched its newest solid fuel intercontinental ballistic missile, which it said had the longest flight time ever.
Right.
Coincidentally.
Now check this out. The North Koreans haven't acknowledged that they haven't.
Right. Yep.
It's been days they haven't acknowledged that they haven't.
Dude,
I think
you should be the national security advisor, and I'll be your. I mean, come on, this is common sense. We jumped through the.
He was turned.
You know
he was turned.
Yes,
he was turned in that prison for those 2 months. They turned him.
Yep.
You know,
2 months, bro. It was that in the old days with my man, old Blue Eyes, Manchurian Candidate.
Right.
This is a classic example.
And they had a plan. They knew the United States were either going to find out or what, and they had a plan to get him across that border. To promise him. Yeah, they make bird dog, type of trade to get him back. I don't think they're going to trade to get him back. If they do, they want to know what he knows or what he did. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I have a funny feeling this dude's going to come on TV and say he's going to denounce the United States. He's going to do all types of
going
stuff.
Back to Vietnam era type stuff.
He's still a military soldier.
Yeah.
He's still an active duty. You know, this is not a reservist. This is an active duty soldier.
No, so his family is saying that he may have felt overwhelmed by what the United States was going to do.
They were going to do nothing to him but self. Yeah, they were just going to give him. Dude, he goes to jail there. He gets out. He still got the same rank. If I was there and he went to jail downrange in the South Korean for assault and battery, I would have gave him another Article 15, which would have been another 45 days he had to stay in country, and I would take all his rank. They didn't even do that.
But see, this is the thing where you have to look between the lines, so to speak. What's going on with this guy mentally, right? And then, now let's talk about it without the Manchurian Candidate possibilities. What's going on with him mentally that he would risk his freedom and his life by running across that line to, unless you know, unless you know that there's safety on the opposite side, that's like one of the last things you do, unless you want to die.
We got to go back. We got to go back to the original assault. What got him in that fight? That's where it all begins. What got him to be arrested?
Then the family described him as a quiet loner who did not.
Of course, he was a choir boy.
He enjoyed reading the Bible. Yeah. See, you were right.
Yeah,
you know
he was a choir boy. He can do no wrong.
Why aren't you Secretary of State?
Yeah, I mean,
after growing up in Southwest Wisconsin.
Yeah, and you show his picture, look like he got mascara on. You know, I was like, come on, dude. Yeah, I mean, man, this guy's an embarrassment, man. He can. My personal philosophy, he can stay over there.
Here we go. His maternal grandfather said, I can't see him doing that intentionally if he was in his right mind. How much more does it take that we say this dude is he's been turned? How much more do we have to say?
You taking a cab from the airport to Yongsung, that's 30 to 45 minutes. You taking a 2-hour bus ride up to the DMZ, sit in a 30 to 45 minute briefing. You looking at 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not in your right mind for 4 hours.
The grandfather said he can't see him. He can't see his see this kid taking his own life or hurting someone else. That's what this is people who know him.
Yeah, but he got an assault. He was fighting with somebody.
I understand.
So he can't.
The grandfather would listen. If you listen to it, the grandfather's trying to say he doesn't believe he was in a fight, nor would he try to be suicidal and run across the DMZ, which is suicidal.
Yeah,
you don't know those response, those guys, unless they already told you, hey, when you get there, just run across. They won't shoot you. I'm not running across them unless I got confirmation from somebody that I think half-ass trust and say, okay, they won't shoot you.
They get in firefights on that DMZ for the most.
I read it all the time. I read it. Look, every once in a while, the news will report it and say that there's been a fight. They're killing one another on that border.
Mm-hmm. On a daily basis.
Yes, more so than we actually hear about. Yep.
We had a helicopter went over the DMZ by accident, got shot down.
Damn.
Okay, so why didn't they shoot him?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my point.
Doesn't make sense. They knew he was a military soldier because he's black.
Yeah.
He was black.
Right.
You know he was American. You know, so it's like, what the hell? Right. Clean cut haircut. They knew he was an American soldier.
Get the next one. Get the next one up. Did you put that one up yet?
Okay, now I'm putting it up now.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
Why would he join the army?
He couldn't hurt nobody.
If he could take a life
himself.
And
join the army.
Right. And he was a scout, reconnaissance.
Right.
That's life-taking job.
You up front. That's the tip of the
spear. Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know? So
yep.
Not making sense. You know? Not making sense at all.
Yep.
But it's just suspicious that our government is sitting around, especially the Pentagon, is trying to water this down and saying, oh, you know, he was they're trying to water it down instead of just saying this soldier is, if he ever comes back, he'll be prosecuted, thrown in jail. You know what I'm saying? For life. You know,
they're saying that he had a mental thing, and the family is at a loss. The family's like, there's no way. This is not him. This is not the person that joined the military 3 years ago.
Yeah,
they said he wanted to be there. He wanted to serve the military.
Yeah, this is him.
Yep. He has a brother who's a police officer and a cousin who's in the Navy. So this guy, he understood military service. So at that point, when you do this, that means you've been turned, bro. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. If they come up with some other excuse and they tell us what really happened, and I'm wrong, I'm not eating no hat to nothing stupid.
Let me tell you guys a story.
I'll take it. I'll accept it.
We had a guy who murdered a prostitute downrange. Mm-hmm. Okay. He ended up running back to post. The MP arrested him, threw him in jail. The South Koreans in that area rioted for over a week, and we were confined to posts for a week because they were destroying this damn city. You know,
right?
They ended up giving this guy up because they wanted him to go to the South Korean jail. And so after a week, they said, you know what? Screw it. They gave the guy up. He went to a South Korean jail. We never saw him again. Never heard from him again. So you know the South Korean jails, they're hardcore because you do have Korean gang members and criminals over there. I met a few of them, and those guys will get you in those jails and they will beat you to death. This guy goes there for 2 months, come back, totally okay. Doesn't make sense. That's why they tell you don't want to go to South Korean jail because you won't survive in there.
Well,
they tell you this in the briefing.
The king over there, whatever the prime minister King guy,
Kim Jong Il, whatever.
This guy King's hanging out with him.
Yeah,
because it says here in February he was fined 5 million won, $3,950 after he was convicted of assaulting an unidentified person and damaging a police vehicle. The same thing you said. And so
How
last
much he was
October,
fined?
5 million won, which is
Okay, that's
3,000.
That's $5,000
It's
in American money.
3,950 or some kind of inflation. It's been a
Oh, it
long
is?
time since you've been
Okay.
over there. Based
Yeah,
upon
yeah.
the AP, they're saying $3,950. So anyway, but this is
All
the
right.
killer. Check this out. The ruling said King was also accused of punching a 23-year-old man at a Seoul nightclub. Though
And
the
that
court
23-year-old
dismissed
man
the
was a Korean.
charge. Yep, but the court dismissed the charge because the victim did not want the soldier to be punished.
Oh,
So he didn't even have that charge. He then still spent 47 days in prison.
for
When he got out,
he spent
for
he
the
spent
car
47 days in prison for the vehicle
right. My point
because he
is,
couldn't pay the fine.
and then it's very suspicious because he was escorted by 2 service members to a American Airlines flight to Texas, as scheduled at 5:40 p.m. that day. When he got there, he met military personnel who would escort him to Fort Bliss if he made it to Texas. A lady who saw him on the tour bus said, dude was dressed casually with jeans and a t-shirt, and he even bought a hat from the DMZ. The gift shop. So he obviously
And the
was-
gift shop is where the briefing's at.
Yep.
The gift shop's where the briefing's at.
He's actually calm and cool, and he already knew what he was going to do.
Yeah. Right. So that means he had the briefing before he went to that section. Believe me, I've sat in that briefing. I've been all those places where he was at.
Yep. And see,
You know?
what we talked about personally, all the stupid people. As the tour was ending, the group members were milling about and taking photos. That's when Leslie, that's the lady who's giving the description of witness, saw King running really fast. She thought it was a TikTok stunt. And
Yes.
that it was just some stupid prank. She
Right.
didn't realize that he was, the soldiers tried to catch him. And as they were trying to catch him, that's when she realized it was real.
And
That's crazy. They'll tell me, dude, you don't run across no DMZ unknowing. You don't even do that when you know that the jig is up. Hey, it's me. Remember I told you I was
You
wearing the white
not
t-shirt
even
and blue
look-
jeans?
and when you get off that bus, you see where that concrete and when the ladies were standing, when you get off the bus, they only allow you to go from that. They don't even allow you to walk in those that gravel
Wow.
going toward that area. The South Korean soldiers were stopped and they were getting in front of you. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so you're only allowed to go inside the UN building.
Right.
And when you go inside the UN building, the 2 South Korean soldiers go to the opposite side from the North Korean side, and they hold each other because the Koreans have known to be pulling those guys through and subduing them and taking them across the DMZ
Yeah,
for
this
interrogation.
one was willing. That's obvious.
So
This
they
one was
they
willing.
hold each other while they lock the door on the other side because the North Koreans and the South Koreans use the same building to have tours in.
Damn.
Yes. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. So when you're in that building, the North Koreans will come on the outside windows and look at you, you know, and see who's in there. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
But in this situation, that wasn't the case because he was already ready. His
They
grandmother
never
wants to
even
know-
got into the UN building.
Right, but his grandmother wants to know why the U.S. hasn't gotten her son back. All she cares about is that he brings him to bring him
They
back.
can't.
Do you know, we make things happen in the U.S.
They can't.
If they get him home, she would appreciate it as a family. Save my
They can't get him
grandson.
back.
That's the new
He don't
phrase.
want them back.
Hashtag save my grandson.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd be wearing Korean garb the next time we see this dude.
He may speak Korean.
I think he does.
Yeah, I mean
He
he's a
spent-
scout.
Don't
In
mean
Korea.
he did, yeah, but don't mean I couldn't speak the shit. I can only
Yeah.
speak a little bit of
Were
it.
you a scout?
Yeah.
Was anybody in your unit speak Korean?
Yeah, I spoke enough to buy dinner. I spoke enough to purchase stuff.
Right, that's what I'm
And-
talking about. Like,
and
I
negotiate.
mean, you don't have to be fluent, but you understand what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know
I
how to
spoke
say
enough.
run, stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I spoke enough to I even rode the civilian buses and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was ridiculous, you know. So
Right.
Yeah.
And as a tourist, if they recognize you as a tourist, they're willing to help you out if you're trying to speak the
Yeah.
language. You know,
And and all the Koreans speak English anyway, because that's a
see,
part of their educational system. They
hmm
must learn how to speak English. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
a lot of trade occurs in English as
Yeah.
well,
hmm
so it's
So
beneficial to them.
I just don't think this was an accident. I think he was turned. I think he was a traitor. I think he's a spy, and
Oh
let him
snap!
rock
Oh
over
yeah,
there.
dude, they got a picture of this guy standing with the other tourist
Yeah,
right
go ahead and
before he
post it up.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about to right before he bolted. This
Mhm.
is a good one.
There's plenty, from what I understand, there's plenty of video, but it's being suppressed. There's
Wow.
tons of videos out here because all the people who were taking pictures and stuff, they were, some of them were videotaping. They got videos. Yeah,
This is
there
him
he is
right
right
here.
there. Right. And see that building
I
to
mean,
the
you could
far
tell who
right.
he is. How can
Yeah,
you
there he is
pick
right
him
here.
out? Yeah,
Yeah.
how could you not
He's
pick him out?
yeah, he's right. Yeah, he's the guy with the all in black with the
The
DMZ
black
hat.
guy all in black. How about that?
Now the building to the right, that's
hmm
the
This one.
American building. The building in the back right there, that's an observatory. Up there, they got gigantic binoculars and listening devices. Now you see all the cameras in the back. See the
Right.
two tall cameras? There's
hmm
two tall cameras there. There's another one to the left. See them right there?
Yeah, these guys.
Yeah. And there's another one. There's several on behind us. And this building's got cameras in those windows.
This one
And
here.
there's guys with weapons in there watching
Mhm.
too. You're not even allowed to even go in that building.
Wow.
You know,
I
you
just
stand
so
right
did. He
here.
was
There's a
standing there in the
briefing.
bottom. Yep.
Yeah, you stand right here. They give a briefing. Then you go and turn and go into that blue building. See that blue building off to the left?
This
It's a
one.
UN building. That's where you
Mhm.
go in where they have the peace talks. You're allowed to go in that building only.
Check this out. This is what makes it kind of like, wait a minute. During a tour of the tightly controlled joint security area,
Mm-hmm.
tightly
JSA.
controlled
It's
on the
tightly
border.
controlled.
Come
Yeah.
on now. But he was able
Yeah.
to, come on, what's he got? OJ skills? He leaping over people, dipping. He dipped
I'm
around and,
I don't know why they didn't tackle him.
right. That's my point.
Yeah.
That's
It doesn't make
crazy.
sense. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Not at all. And
No.
you have to understand they're in between the lines, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what we're saying is that he's a traitor.
Yeah.
You don't run to anybody like that unless you know they won't shoot you.
He had to have knowledge of that bus time that it was
Mhm.
leaving. He had to know
I
it
would
was leaving.
imagine if it was the other way around, the North Koreans would have shot one of their guys.
They did. They had a when I was there, we had a North Korean guy defected through JSA. It's a post
Mm.
up there. He
Mhm.
went through. Well, the JSA guy shot him in the stomach, and they were but they turned him back in and gave him back to North Korea to be executed. I guess.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he
'Cause
tried to defect.
the only thing they're
Yeah.
going to do over there is take him out.
Yeah.
They're not going to,
Yeah.
let's talk.
Well, they're gonna
Let's
kill
talk.
him and his family.
Yeah.
His
'Cause
whole bloodline gets
damn,
killed.
I'm scared.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Thank you, Sarge. Yep.
yeah,
That's what
traitor,
Sarge said.
100% traitor. Yeah,
hmm
100% traitor.
That's what I'm
Yep,
trying to get
he was a
across
traitor.
without let you guys read it too.
Yeah,
You have your own opinion, but I'm telling you that my opinion is this dude has been turned, and
hmm
whatever information he's willing to give them, he's never
he
coming
gave
back
it to
here.
him.
He's
He
never
gave
coming
it to
back
him.
here.
Yeah,
He's never coming back.
and that week he came back. They don't say after he came out of jail was he put under house arrest? Was he signed to quarters? You know, I wouldn't have had him roaming around posts if I'm going to send the guy back.
Apparently, he was just coming out of confinement with the South Korean government. He
Right,
had assaulted an individual in South Korea and had been in custody of the South Korean government and
but
was
it
going to come back to the United States to face the consequences in the army.
so they released him from jail,
Or released him
and
from
he
jail.
was
He was
going
supposed to go
straight from
on
the
a plane.
army
Yep,
to back to
back
the
to
plane
Texas.
flying out.
Yep.
Right, back to Texas. Okay.
And he did and then what you mentioned earlier, I don't have a passport. Okay, the two guys that are escorting him go, all right, well, you just stay right here and we'll be right back. We're gonna look for you. Well, how do you get away from two guys?
Yeah,
How
but
do you
did he
get how
tell
do you
the
get
two
away from two
guys or
guys?
did he tell the airport? You know what I'm
The
saying?
two guys left him
'Cause-
there.
Yeah. When the two guys left him, they could have just walked. He could have just walked off and went down and held a cab. You know, because there's plenty of
But don't
cabs
you
out
put
there.
out an alert, bro? Don't you put out an alert? I've escorted
Man,
prisoners numerous times. You don't just let them roll out. You get
these
them
are
to where
MP.
they go, and then
These
then
are
you.
military MPs, bro.
I understand,
Come
man,
on,
but
man.
this is makes it really
That's
weird.
Barney. You're looking at Barney Fife.
Shit. I
These
mean, you're
guys,
escorting
man.
somebody with orders and papers. Then you just say, "Oh, okay, we'll wait right here. We'll be right back. We're gonna go look for your
Yeah.
passport. You stay here."
If he told, did he tell them he didn't have a passport, or did he tell the airport?
I don't know.
Because I
who
thought he
though.
told it. I thought he told the airport he couldn't
I
board.
just want to know how the hell he gets past two people who are supposed to escort him to put him on a flight, and he never makes the flight.
Well,
That's what.
their original statements from them was he had already done his time in the South Korean prison.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
once they got him to the airport, there was no need for us to escort him all the way to the gate because he was not a threat to us. He was on his way back home. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got that. But
Right.
why? All right, that makes it more suspicious.
No,
He had no
well,
contact with the North Korean as we know it. He's dealt with
and
the
check
South
this
Korean.
out. Like I
How
said,
does
man.
How does he run across that line and not get shot?
No, it's not that. How did he know that bus? He just got out of a South Korean prison. You say he immediately came out and they immediately escorted to go to the airport. He had
Right.
no contact with nothing to
Well-
even get on the internet to find out when the bus was leaving.
You can
What
get to
time?
a depot. You can get to the bus depot, look up, and see that there's another bus in 2 hours. He can blind luck run into the depot and see there's a bus, get on that bus, and wind up in that position. I got that part. I mean, I don't think he had any forethought for that, but to know that the bus was available, maybe. You
To
know,
go
what I
to
mean? And
the
he's trying to blend
DMZ?
in with tourists. You're a black guy in Korea, no matter whether it's north or south. You're a black guy in Korea, bro. How you
He
blend
could
in?
have bought another flight and went somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
instead of going to the DMZ and going to North Korea.
See, this is here. Here it is. I was looking for this, and listen to this. This is military.com. It says he was set to fly back to Fort Bliss, Texas, reportedly to face additional military discipline. ... But instead somehow ended up on a civilian tour of the border village of Pungyamjam, a tourist attraction. How they don't even know.
Nobody knows.
It's like he was right here,
No.
and all of a sudden he's here. How the hell did he get there? I mean, come on.
Nobody
The
knows.
first thing as an investigator, that's what you should find out. How did he not get on this plane? That's why I want to talk to these two guys. How did he not get on the plane? And they say, well,
No,
he-
the thing it's
he
not how
showed
he
us
got
a
on the
magic
plane.
trick,
No.
and-
Go ahead. It's how he got on the bus.
I don't no. He got to not. You have to
No,
not get
no.
on the plane first to get on the bus.
I understand what you're saying, but the plane is not the important part.
It is. If his ass on
No.
the plane, he's back in Texas.
I understand what you're saying, but you can easily sneak out of that airport. I understand what
Nope.
you're saying, but it's easily done. It's
you got
easily
two
done.
MPs. He gets on that gangway. He
The-
doesn't come back this way.
the
He gets on
MPs
that gangway, runs down the stairs. MP should be watching to make sure that
They
plane takes
left.
off.
They
and-
left. They only
We
took
don't know
into-
that. We don't
Well,
know
they
that.
stated in one of the briefings that the MPs only escorted him up to the security gate. Then they left. They left from there.
I'm telling you, I can
And-
see he can
No,
just
man.
show up. He
Getting-
can show up anywhere and take a bus to. Or
No,
if he wants to get to that
not-
DMZ,
not-
he knew
not
where he was
that.
going.
Not that bus. Not that bus.
Which bus you talking about?
This was a special DMZ tour bus.
Right.
This bus was designated only for people who had the clearance to go up to the DMZ. You cannot just willy-nilly walk onto this bus. You can't do it.
Look at P3 says he understands what I'm talking about. And
It's
I
the
think
bus
it's a
and how
combination
he-
between the two of us.
Well, it's the bus. How'd he get the paperwork for the tour? Yeah, see,
Right. That's what I say.
See?
He's doing a bridging between the two of us. I
Right.
got you. My
Yeah.
point is that if he needed paperwork to get on the bus, that's one thing. If it was just one of these things where you pay and you get on,
No,
he could
you
stumble on
can't just pay.
that.
You
Okay.
have to apply for this months in advance and get clearance because they check everybody out before you
Gotcha.
go to that.
Okay. See, that's different. Now
Yeah.
I'm following the line.
And your name is on a list and they check you by we had to show our ID cards to get on that bus, and I was active duty there, and our unit wanted to go up to there, but we didn't get on the bus until we went up to the DMZ. We went up to JSA, and we had to lock all our weapons and all this stuff up in the gigantic cage, our vehicles with all this stuff. Then we went to we walked over to JSA into the briefing room, and from the briefing room we got on the bus. You know what I'm saying? And when we got on the bus, it was an armed MP checking everybody's names. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And this was something that our lieutenant, he had prearranged. I think it was weeks in advance, for us to do this, because he was a history buff. He wanted us to do all this history crap. You know what I'm saying? We went from there to some tunnel, and the dude was North Korean was on the other side of the tunnel, standing there with a with an automatic weapon and stuff.
Right.
And we was looking down there. It was just some wild stuff, know.
So this military.com reached out to the Pentagon officials and wanted more details, and they were told they're waiting for the next of kin to be notified. Right. So I guess this is a couple of days ago. But anyway, the Army spokesman said that King, something you said earlier, who was a scout and went into service 2021, that he should have been a private first class, and and King may have been held back for disciplinary issues or failing to meet standards. But they did not provide any information indicating that. Promotion to private first class, the next highest rank, is automatic after 12 months of service. So
yes, it is.
He was something.
He was a problem. He was a problem.
Right. But see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
If he was a problem and they didn't recognize it, but they still sent him to Korea, or maybe he
it was a deployment. Every swinging Charlie's gone.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is a rotation deployment. So they had to go. They because they need the numbers. He's going. Problem children.
The last time they had somebody like this dude's name was Sergeant Charles Jenkins, who worried that he would be sent to Vietnam, decided to defect in 1965 after downing 5 beers for courage. 10 beers for courage. Jenkins would go on to be imprisoned, tortured, forced to wed a Japanese woman, and act in propaganda videos before finally being allowed to leave in 2004. He was the only one of the 4 men to leave North Korea. Apparently, 4 dudes decided they were going to go in there and not go to war. Most captives of the North Korean state do not leave without injury or harm. This guy here lost an appendix, a testicle, and part of the U.S. Army tattoo that was hacked off his arm without anesthesia while in North Korea. Damn. I bet you he changed his mind as soon as he got there.
But they made him marry a woman and had children with her.
Yeah, well, whatever that one thing could.
And the military didn't prosecute him when he came back.
They probably said he suffered enough.
Yeah, he took his testicles.
Damn, that. I'm very sensitive to that part.
He said he went to North Korea and left a nut.
Pretty much.
Literally.
Yes, that's not anything that you have to read.
What you go to North Korea to do, man? I went there, left a nut, and got a tattoo removed.
Snatched. It wasn't even removed. It was snatched off.
Oh my God. What an idiot. Some stupid people, man. These are some stupid people.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, everybody knows that's a hostile country. And those people over there are starving, Yep.
And their leader. Look at their leader.
Yeah.
They don't care about them.
I mean, the whole country is dark at night. I watch satellite videos of that place, and China, everything else has light around us. except North Korea. North Korea is completely dark.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they're like early 1900s.
Yeah, they living in Stone Age, man. Stone
Yeah,
Age.
there was a
starving.
nickname in here. They call it the Hermit Cavern or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a horrible place. But that's our news for today.
There you go.
If you guys enjoyed that show, please like and share.
We gotta do it, man. We gotta do it.
Yeah. And
it actually helps. People don't realize it unless you have your own channel. We know some guys out there doing it as well. You understand that like, subscribe, and share really works.
Yeah. Post comments, if you want us to, if you like the show, that all helps. Everything, every little bit helps. We're trying to blow this thing up, and we're running up against the wall, but we're grinding, and but we need you guys' help to help us grind.
Yeah,
and,
we appreciate it too. Really, really do. You guys that come on to make comments, even the chats. I'm looking at the chats here, and it's lively. And the other thing too is we see more people watching that are actually subscribed. That's the part. That's the part that we recognize. We see a lot of folks watching. We're building our minutes and our hours, but at the same time, the actual like and subscribe part is really low.
Yeah, we got a lot of ninja watchers. That's the new way of saying it. Ninja watchers.
Oh.
Thank you, David, for that saying that, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Yeah. But this like it, guys. Help us. We ain't asking for money. We ain't asking for anything. We're just asking for a freaking like, a button.
And
that's
subscribe, man. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah, it's all free. Keep us talking. All right. Other than that, we
stay safe, man. Stay safe and practice. Dry fire. Fire.
Do all that good stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm tired.
See you in the range.
All right. See you in the range, guys.
Dude, I missed this.